I'm pretty sure we ended up on the news. I don't know in what channel. We've definitely ended up in newspaper with a lot of interesting comments. Because
Is that about the pricing?
yeah, about the
$40
price.
a cup or something?
I think $32. I don't know what they charged. And a lot of people are like, just like, wow, these people are, thieves, and it's ridiculous, and what are they
Uh
doing?
huh.
And I was traveling as I always do, so and I don't really like being active in social media that way anyway.
Uh huh.
What was so interesting is because there were many comments on Facebook from everyone, but then the farmers that we work with, they we came to them and they started defending. No, I know Sasha. Been working with us for so many years. He helped us to build a childcare center, and he's done this for us, and he's done that. Of course, they deserve to pay, and the coffees he's charging, it's best of the best of the best coffee. It was Finca Debra, which is
Uh huh.
like incredible coffee. Um, very, of course, very expensive. And there's a reason why it's so expensive, and it's the reason that I support. And but it was nice to see the bit of the war, kind of in a interesting way, between end customers that don't really understand and the farmers that are kind of trying to, even
Validate.
tell these people and validate, hey, this makes sense.
But
So
doesn't that go to the heart of this issue that we have in branding with coffee? The fact that
absolutely,
we have to convince customers that this is this is a product that changes in value based on people that live really far away from where you are, that have to change things that they're doing, and it costs money to change things that th're doing to bring you the quality of coffee that you actually want. And while 10 years ago it may have cost $3, they're actually getting paid less now than they were 10 years ago.
exactly.
And the cost of production is much more expensive than it was back then. And by the way, the cafe has only been able to increase the cost of that cup of coffee by, 20 to 50 cents a cup over 10 years if we're lucky.
Yeah, yeah. So there's definitely a bit of ignorance that we, as a cafe owners, we are afraid to actually increase the price to what it should be.
What do you think it should be?
Well, we are increasing the prices now, actually, as we're speaking,
Yep.
within the next 2 weeks, and for many factors. But one of the also factors, like milk, has price of the milk has increased in Australia,
Is it really?
and it should because of the droughts. One of the farmers, because we work with Riverina Milk, we have very close relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, one of the farmers, his cost of milk production, he's paying 500% more for the water now than what
Jeez.
he got it. So he's got additional bill of $1 million a year just for the water.
That's out insane, isn't it?
50% added cost for the feed for the cows, etc. So even though you're paying your milk for, like, if price jumps from 240 to 260 or 270, that's still not covering enough. So
No.
still playing that game, race to the bottom with everything. Milk and the coffee. We're charging for coffee $4.50, but we're charging for bottle of water $4. Like,
Right.
doesn't make sense.
No.
Like, okay, you get some filtrations, plastic bottling on the line. It doesn't take a lot of money to produce bottle of water.
No.
Uh, it's kind of a bit scary who's making that money and where is that money going to, you know.
Corporatization.
And also, it takes, for to make $4.50 coffee. Oh my God! Like, we can talk for days and days and days.
Totally.
What's the journey to make that coffee taste the way it tastes? And and not many people are successful in that entire chain. Baristas are struggling, cafe owners are struggling, farmers are struggling for sure. I think roasters are doing pretty well, and maybe capitalizing a lot as well, because roasters have a freedom to put the packaging they wish to say it's specialty, but not really buy specialty. So I think there's just kind of more I think of it, it kind of makes me a little bit more worried, a bit more sick as well, about the situation we are in at the moment, because it's not looking promising.
When I speak to green buyers out there, and a lot of conversations are had behind the scenes of this podcast, every week I'm trying to get a feel for, is it shifting? Are people getting more concerned? Are they getting more hopeful? Are they seeing any changes? The thing I'm hearing more and more green buyers say is it's making less and less sense to continue to coffee farm.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But sorry, I forgot to answer your previous question. We can comment that as well. But
Yep.
in my opinion, we're charging now $4.50 for our small
Yep.
coffees, which is standard. So that's not your fancy raspberry candy or really expensive coffee. In my opinion, if you're charging $5 for a cup of coffee, we would make a big difference for everyone. And anything less before, if you're doing the right things and if you're supporting specialty coffee all the way from the soil to a cup in a right way, yeah, that's where I believe it should be, no less than $5.
If people are happy to pay 50 cents extra for soy milk or $1 extra for soy milk, the part that I've been throwing around in my head for a little while now is, if they're happy to pay that much extra for soy milk, why aren't they happy to pay that extra for better quality coffee? Why do you think we can't get that across?
I think it's all in our heads, to be completely honest.
As owners, as custodians of the industry?
As the owners and as the leaders of this industry, because it's, I feel that future in industries, it's in our hands.
Yep.
And when I started working in the cafes, yeah, bottle of water costed $2. Now it's $4.
Right.
Coffee was $2.50 back then, or $3. Now it's maybe $3.50 in most of the shops. And we've decided to start making these changes. And maybe I might be out of the business in 5 years. Because I'm charging too much and people are going to be angry at us, or maybe not. But we feel like it's our responsibility to say these messages.
Is that a real concern?
It's a concern for, I think I'm one of the lucky people that not that I know coffee from farm to cup, but I'm involved in a coffee from the soil. Being a farmer, being a green bean buyer, having a Project Origin company, working on innovations with the coffee machines and the grinders, etc., having a roasting company in the coffee shop. So we have understanding on all of the scales of the coffee chain, and we also have understanding what part of the chain is a weak link and what part of the chain is doing well. And it's a concern, because if we maintain the lower prices, our chain is going to break, for sure.
It's weak already.
It's already weak. It started already cracking on the farms. Cafe owners as well. Rents are getting expensive, wages are getting higher, which is great. That's what we want, for wages to be higher, because we want people to have a great lives being in a coffee, and we want barista role to be as underappreciated as it is by still many people, and undervalued and underpaid. But in order to do that, we need to move this to customers to actually support this industry, so we can have a lot healthier industry. Barista role is 2, 3, 4 years. These days, people don't work as a barista more than 3, 4 years.
Whereas when we were doing it, it was 10 years you could do it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's and it's hard. Hours are long. Wage is not very high.
Yep.
And maybe the systems and mechanics, it's way too repetitive. It's becoming very robotic. So there's many things that we need to invest in that field to give great appreciation to barista. And I'm not saying only at the wage, but so many other things needs to be done, so they actually want to work in a coffee shop 5, 6, 7 years, and they enjoy that work instead of being burnt. And that's the common word that we keep hearing. Oh, I'm burnt. I can't do this anymore. I love coffee, but I want to do something else.
Do you think it's that they're burnt, they're bored, they're